Imagine a teenager, just 15 years old, sitting in his bedroom, surrounded by pizza boxes and energy drinks, fingers tapping away at a keyboard. A few clever keystrokes later, he's inside the digital heart of one of the most secure intelligence agencies in the world, the CIA. Sounds like a Hollywood movie, doesn't it? But this was no script. This was real. This is the story of how a group of teens turned their curiosity and tech skills into a digital heist that stunned the world. Buckle up, because the twists in this story are as wild as they are true. In the year 2015, Kane Gamble, a teenager from the UK, became the unlikely headline of international news. He didn't break into a bank, he didn't steal a car, he infiltrated the personal accounts of CIA officials. Emails, phone numbers, private conversations, nothing was off limits. But here's the kicker, he didn't act alone. He was part of a group of digital misfits known as Crackas With Attitude. These weren't career criminals. They were teenagers. Teens who, armed with nothing more than a laptop and determination, launched an assault on digital fortresses. So who was Kane Gamble? Raised in Colville, a small town in Leicestershire, Kane was fascinated by tech from a young age. Like many kids, he was glued to the internet. But while others played games or scrolled through memes, Kane was learning how networks operated, how firewalls worked, and most importantly, how to bypass them. This obsession eventually led him to online forums where he met others with the same drive. Together, they formed a brotherhood of young coders and pranksters. But what began as harmless trolling soon evolved into something much more dangerous. These teens weren't driven by cash or fame, not at first. Kane himself claimed they were motivated by political frustrations. This was during the rise of government surveillance debates and Edward Snowden's revelations. Kane and his crew wanted to expose hypocrisy and corruption. They believed that by targeting government officials, they could pull back the curtain on what they saw as global injustice. They called it hacktivism, a blend of hacking and activism. But even noble causes can spiral out of control. You might expect a major CIA hack to involve elite software or ultra-sophisticated malware. But that's what makes this story so shocking. Kane used social engineering, basically, manipulating people into giving up information. He'd pretend to be a high-ranking official, call a service provider, and request password resets or account access. And it worked. Again and again. He tricked employees into handing over personal details, gaining access to inboxes filled with top-secret exchanges. He even accessed John Brennan's emails, the then director of the CIA. The breach wasn't just technical, it was psychological. As the group's confidence grew, so did their targets. They began doxing, releasing private information of government officials. They even took over hotlines meant for national security. One instance involved rerouting a government helpline to a pro-Palestinian message. They wanted to cause disruption, make a statement. And in doing so, they crossed from hacktivism to full-blown cyber warfare. The online world watched in disbelief. While some praised them as digital Robin Hoods, others saw them as reckless teens putting national security at risk. Of course, such attacks didn't go unnoticed. The US and UK governments were furious. Intelligence agencies launched investigations and traced IPs. It didn't take long before the circle began to tighten. Surveillance intensified. Servers were seized. One by one, the young hackers were identified. Kane, being one of the key figures, quickly found himself under a microscope. His digital footprints had led them right to his door. In 2017, Kane Gamble was arrested. The charges? Serious cyber intrusion offenses. The UK courts didn't take it lightly. Though still a teenager, he was sentenced to 2 years in a youth detention facility. The court acknowledged his intelligence and technical skill, but condemned how he used them. It was a wake-up call. Not just for Kane, but for countless other young coders watching from the shadows. Cybercrime isn't a game. It has real-world consequences. After his arrest, Kane's story took a deeper turn. Analysts and psychologists examined the mindset behind such behavior. Many argued that Kane and his peers lacked proper guidance and mentorship. Their brilliance went unchecked. Instead of channeling their skills into ethical hacking or cybersecurity roles, they were seduced by the allure of power and control. It's a lesson in how digital talent, when left unshaped, can lead to destruction rather than innovation. In the wake of the breach, both government and private sectors re-evaluated their digital defenses. Agencies rolled out stricter training protocols. Multi-factor authentication became standard. And more importantly, conversations around ethical hacking gained momentum. Today, many companies are hiring ethical hackers, white hats, to test their defenses. Some of the very skills that got Kane into trouble are now being used to protect vital systems. So here's the question for you: if you had the skills to break into anything online, what would you do? Would you use that power to create chaos, or to build something better? Kane's story isn't just about hacking the CIA. It's about what happens when talent meets temptation. Let's talk in the comments. Do you think Kane should have been punished more severely, or did he deserve a second chance? And if you're into tech, coding, and uncovering the wildest stories from the digital world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and think before you